MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Daniel Jones and the New York Giants taking on Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Chandler Catanzaro of the Jets ready to do the honors, and we are underway from MetLife Stadium. This will make it into the end zone, and this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. The Steelers set to go on offense, and it is the big man, Big Ben, number 7, Ben Roethlisberger, ready to lead them.
We talk so often about his physical attributes. Of course, the Big Ben nickname, his ability to take hits in the pocket, his ability to extend plays and get outside of the pocket. But how about this for efficiency? Top 10 in career NFL passer rating. And he's one of the top 5 winningest quarterbacks in NFL history. That's pretty darn good.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
And the Steelers.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion, really good pickup.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Second and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. On the return is Scott. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Barkley on 1st down, going to work his way forward only for about a couple there.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. He's got a 1st down and then some in midfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 27 yards there, a 1st down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that. The nickel look, 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. A 1st carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Here's Jones. On 1st and 10, under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Bud Dupree, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll run for the first time with Dion Lewis. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
He's tackled at the 29.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And here's Chandler Catanzaro now for the Giants field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead.
It's 3. Steelers, nothing.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. And this carries into the end zone. And no return here for White. It'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On second down, Samuels. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will hand to Conner. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Now Roethlisberger He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he will have a Steelers first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. This is Connor. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Roethlisberger. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Steelers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They'll run here with Connor. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It's definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Steelers have taken the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Operating from the gun, Jones. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
It's a gain of 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And Ingram hauls it in. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 40.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now Lewis here on 1st down. Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the counter, it's Connor, and he's going to get this pretty close to the 1st down marker at the Giants' 39. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque.
Yeah, I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
Second and 11. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. His throw incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. But now it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
On that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Here we go. Black 20.
On 1st and 10 is Connor, and able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Second and 7 from the 20. Roethlisberger will throw. Ebron caught left side. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On first down, it's Samuels. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They go draw play. This is Samuels. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Here's Roethlisberger. And it's caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
The 1-yard line.
I'd love to sit down at some point in our offseason and talk to these defensive coordinators in the red zone. Tight end is obviously a big threat. Yet these guys continue to make plays. Is there any other way to stop them?
Apparently not. In the red zone, like you said, that's your guy. They got it to him.
Supreme confidence in going to a playmaker.
Going with a big fullback, Watt. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Second down and goal. Roethlisberger looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But now it's 3rd and goal.
And that's one of the dangers of the quick game. If you only have a 2- or 3-step drop, if you don't get the ball to someone open right away, those defenders are right near the line of scrimmage, and they get on top of you in a heartbeat.
This is 3rd and goal. And this Giants defense, they have withstood the test thus far. They'll look to run with Connor. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner able to take this in from a yard out. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Boswell for the extra point.
The point after.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley fighting his way through contact, and he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. From the gun, Jones finds his tight end Ingram. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. That's complete left side to Shepard. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 1st downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And it's 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Jones now to throw again. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That puts them in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Jones. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. It's Daniel Jones fighting Evan Ingram. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Here's Kareth White on the return. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it to 26. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice. And now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how's he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Play fake to Conner. Now Roethlisberger finds his running back, James Conner. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation. Run and punt the football or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here? Looking to throw on second down. Jones. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Jones, 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Throwing, Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up second.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Bud Dupree able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bud Dupree bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And hitting Juju on the slant. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor, and he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
At the 32-yard line.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We just watched a very good first half out of the veteran, Big Ben. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Joe Hayden there to bring him down.
2 yards.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
From the 29, Jones, and that's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Jones, and he comes back with one complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. First down Giants, Jones to Ingram. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot, see if we can shake them up. And boy, they hit that one.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, Jones. Catch made by Slayton. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Jones, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown, and the Giants are going to jump back in front.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Point after now from Catanzaro.
Extra point.
It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Here's White. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there and a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Black 20.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Roethlisberger going to get that to Ebron. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. His pass caught at the 4. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Steelers have once again taken the lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point now by Boswell. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Now they relinquished that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right? Where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run with Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Bad news, they didn't get it on 2nd down. The good news is they still only need about 3 or 4 inches here on 3rd.
And the good play callers have looked at both situations. They thought to themselves, okay, this call, I pick up the first down, already ready with that call. If I don't, this is what I'm going to come back with in order to pick it up.
Now Jones from the gun on 3rd down. It's caught. Shepard. And he will they'll have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Jones and Shepard with a connection there for a Giants first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Jones throwing on first down to Shepard, complete over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Giving back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now first and 10. From the gun, Jones. Over the middle, complete to Tate.
Jones,
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
it's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Steelers' 37-yard line.
That is incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The field goal, a 54-yard attempt.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side, you know? And in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Ebron with it over the middle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Connor. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 29. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete, right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partners, a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
All right, now, block 80!
Now it's Roethlisberger. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson on the other end of the throw from Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And he's able to put it through. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The New York set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
At the 23-yard line.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
17.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. From the gun, Jones. That's complete left side to Shepard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating Operating from the gun, Jones. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones, that's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Jones. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. From the gun, Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
Here's Jones operating from the gun. And that one incomplete as it breaks a string of 8 straight pass completions.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On 2nd and goal, Jones dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Likely he'll try to punch it in. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Giants have got it back to a one-score game. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets him back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the two-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a three-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a two-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Now White on the return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
And now out come the Steelers. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each ending in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack, or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way. Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
On second down now, Samuels, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Steelers on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it's going to yield a new set of downs.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run here with Connor. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. But it's brought in by Washington. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Got an open man, it's Washington. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Like 20.
On first down, Connor. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the Steelers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. 75 yards receiving for them now. It's a first down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger with a touchdown pass to Juju Smith-Schuster. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Boswell for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. He'll set up to throw from the gun. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Operating from the gun, Jones. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Jones pass.
It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones finds his tight end Ingram. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. For 4 yards, the pickup, 1st down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Out to the right here to Shepard. And down inside the 15 he goes. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive will take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
A 29-yard attempt.
Catanzaro's kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game.
Steelers 35, Giants 28.
So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. On the return, here's White. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
On the return, the Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
All right, now, 180.
Again, a run with Connor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Hey, ready? 180.
Here we go. Under 10.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will finally be taken down at the Giants' 25-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
230.
Roethlisberger dropping to a knee, and that ought to do it. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.